The 20-year Lord's Resistance Army insurgency in northern Uganda left agriculture and people's livelihoods destroyed. This plunged the area into prolonged periods of famine as residents continued to live in isolation camps for years during and after the war. Now, the Food and Agriculture Organization reveals that Uganda is not short of food, but has weak distribution structures and poor road infrastructure from rural areas, which makes access to food in all parts of the country a challenge.
So that we can move the food to areas that have shortages. So with that kind of movement and distribution, I think most people will be comfortable. So the problem is access to food, but the availability is there.
Jallow also cites the counterfeit agriculture inputs on the market as frustrating the growth of agriculture in Uganda.
Recently, there has been a lot of problems with seeds that come into Uganda. There are adulterated inputs, there are adulterated seeds, there are adulterated pesticides and the rest of the things that farmers need.
The Private Sector Foundation Uganda has now moved to have a 10-week trade exhibition to enlighten farmers on how best they can add value to their produce and increase their income. Private Sector Foundation Executive Director Gideon Badagawa says the exhibition will harness the potential of the northern region, particularly in the growth of cereal and bio-oil crops.
So we want to look at the value chains and work with the government to identify where the points of weakness. If we can support the farm-level organizations, the formation of farm-level organizations, and also defend standards right from the farming communities, then we can be able to take advantage of the markets.
To Badagawa, the loopholes in agricultural produce are to blame for the volatile economy that has seen high inflation and interest rates on loans acquired by farmers to access farm inputs. This has impacted heavily on majority of Ugandans, especially those in rural areas and in some urban centers in the countryside.
If we can grow more food for export, and this is where our potential is, this is where the comparative and competitive advantage is, then we stabilize the macro aspects. So the focus should be more on helping farms and enterprises build the skills.
He says that over 75% of Uganda's population is made up of the rural population and is steeped in poverty because of ignorance on how to add value to produce to ensure better sales, spurring Uganda's economic growth. So far, the planned exhibition has attracted 100 exhibitors thanks to an $8 million donation from the World Bank.